Hey there guys, Kate here, and today we are gonna be talking about a Roblox Limited that when it was released almost nobody wanted to buy and it was kind of a failure. But nowadays this Roblox item is actually super rare and it's really forgotten. But before we can get into this video, feel free to like and subscribe if you're breathing air right now, and I guess it also helps me out and I would really appreciate it. Alright, so let's get into the topic. So for this item we have to go all the way back to the year 2009, a long time ago, 17 years ago. That is when an item by the name of Fire Ruby Crest was released to the catalog. Now as you can see here today, it actually is kind of forgotten. It only has 2300 favorites, which is a low amount for a limited. And as you can see, it has not sold in the last 190 days, but you know, that might be because it's being resold for 1 billion Robux. Anyways, and as you can see here, it says only 53 of these were sold. That is incorrect, because less of these were sold. Roblox is just glitched. I don't know why, but that's not the amount this item sold. And as you can see here, this item was released on November 6th, 2009, and its description is Living Rubies snatched at a great peril from the realm of core blocks. I don't know what they are rambling about. However, looking at the item, it's not bad actually. I think it looks good, I like it, but alright. So why did this Roblox Limited fail? Well, let's look at the archives. So here is the item on November 11th, 2009, 5 days after it was released. Zooming in on here, as you can see, only 24 of these were sold. And it wasn't like completely unknown, 200 people favorited it. Now you might ask, wow, how did a Roblox Limited only sell 24 copies in 5 days? Like, of course Roblox was smaller in 2009, but there were other items on Roblox with a low amount of copies back in 2009 and they immediately sold out. Well, that is because if you look a little bit higher up, as you can see here, it was 40,000 tickets, which is a lot because, well, obviously tickets were only added to Roblox 2 years prior to this, which yes is a long time. However, 40,000 tickets is a lot of money. If you didn't know this, the trade currency was a thing back in the day introduced a year prior to this item's release, so that could have been manipulated to make a lot of tickets and Roblox by doing a lot of like currency manipulation basically, but on Roblox, which that's how some people got really rich, but the average person was not manipulating the Roblox trade currency. So yeah, but I mean, you could also get tickets just for logging in. You could get 10 tickets, so to get 40,000 tickets and to buy this item you would only need to make, well, 4,000 accounts. So I mean, yeah, if someone really wanted this, they could have been a little bit creative, but I don't think anybody was making 4,000 accounts to collect their 10 tickets, which then they would have to buy a t-shirt on the catalog, so their main account would get the tickets. And I think Roblox took a cut of it, so you will need to make more than 4,000 accounts. Anyways, you could also get tickets for place visits. So yeah, this item only sold 24 copies in 5 days. And if we move to November 13th, the item only sold, as you can see, it only sold 3 copies, which, I mean, at least it sold something, but that's not good. Yeah, nowadays if Roblox released an item for 40,000 Robux, it would probably sell a bit more than 27 copies in a week. And then moving on to January 10th, 2010, as you can see here, only 37 copies have been sold so far, almost 2 months after it was released. And actually, moving on to April 19th, 2010, as you can see here, this item finally went limited with 48 copies sold. And by the way, it went limited on April 14th, 2010, so only 5 days before this snapshot. So as you can see here, 11 people are reselling it and it ended up with total copies of 48, not 53. And then moving on to July 30th, 2010, as you can see here, now there are 13 people reselling it, and now the item has a recent average price of 4,700 Robux, which yes will equate to more than what you paid for. It's not doing amazing, and it actually is down from a peak of 5,230. And then moving on to October 12, 2012, because there's no archive of this item in 2011. As you can see here, it have a recent average price of 13,000 Robux. Moving on to February 28, 2013, as you can see, the best price for this is some ridiculous amount with only 4 resellers, but a recent average price of only 16,000 Robux. And by the way, the best price for it was 96 billion Robux. And as you can see here, this item wasn't doing really good. As you can see, in the last 190 days, the average price of this item dropped by 24%. And then moving on to March 2nd, 2013, it still has the same recent average price. As you can see, nothing changed. And then on July 10th, 2013, and as you can see here, the recent average price is still just 17,000 Robux. And then moving on to October 15th, 2014, as you can see here, the item now has a recent average price of 26,000 Robux, which is higher. It did finally go up. And then moving on to March 17th, 2015, as you can see here, now it has a recent average price of 29,000 Robux and is being sold for a reasonable 95,000 Robux. Moving on to July 3rd, 2015, and it actually has a recent average price of the same amount, but it's now being resold for 80,000 Robux. Now I could keep going with the snapshots going into 2016, 2017, 2018, but let's just jump to the current day, where this item has a recent average price of 98,000 Robux. So this item did go up from this point in 2015 from an average price of 30,000. However, there is only a 60,000 average price increase in 11 years, and it actually is very rare. Heading over onto Rollimons, it only has 30 available copies and 23 owners, and actually 33% of the copies for this item are hoarded. That means 10 copies of this are hoarded. But anyways, that's gonna do it for today's story. Let me know down below what you think, make sure you smash that like button, etc, etc. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.